Greetings, champions. Long before Northrend, before Azjol-Nerub fell to the mighty forces of the Scourge, there was a different kingdom. A hidden empire, carved in the depths of the world, born not of stone, but of blood, darkness, and rebellion. In this video, we unravel the origins of the Nerubians, their escape from the old gods, their transformation into a society of weavers, warriors, alchemists, and the queens who shaped their destiny. From royal betrayal to terrifying mutations, from glowing wormlight to Xalatath's black blood, this is the forgotten history of Azj-Kahet, the last kingdom of the Nerubians. So, light your torches and descend into the darkness of the Spider Kingdom. Why would an old god create new creatures when it already commands legions of faceless ones? And why did the old gods fight among themselves, even though they ruled under a united Black Empire? The answer, it seems, lies in their blood. The black blood of the old gods. A substance of unimaginable power, pulsing, alive and steeped in void, and sensitive to the emotions of mortal beings. Rage, fury, despair. The stronger the feeling, the more the blood pulses, like an ancient heart buried deep within the world. Each old god wanted more of it, more power, more control, and ultimately, the crown of an ancient one. Kathun was the first to act. From his own dark blood, he created a new breed of servants, the Aikir. Insect-like warriors, flyers, spellcasters, born of darkness, forged for war against the other old gods' legions. Their origin still echoes today. In Khazalgar, we mine a strange crystal, Acherite, solidified blood of Kathun. And more than that, we know that Xalatath uses this blood for her own twisted goals. From Pandaria and Xalatath herself, we learned that not all creatures fuel the black blood equally. Only those with true souls, mortal beings, capable of intense emotion, truly empower it. Titan forged, faint impressions. Creatures of the void, almost nothing. And here, something unexpected happened. The prime world soul, Azeroth. While the world's soul slept deep within the planet, unshackled by the Titan-forged prison, it dreamed. And maybe, just maybe, those dreams touched the flesh of some Aikir. Fragments of Azeroth's soul may have seeped into some of them, not by design or by will, but enough to spark something new. A self, a will, a consciousness. Just like the earthen of Khazalgar that were exposed to Azeroth's radiation, these Aikir began to resist their destiny. They started to question, to feel, to choose for themselves. This was the moment the Nerubians were born. And maybe, just maybe, that was the true miracle of the Black Empire. The old gods shaped the flesh, the vessels. But it was Azeroth who gave it a soul and animated it. From black blood and invigorating light came something new. The first children of the flesh. But this time, with a choice. The early ancestors of the Nerubians were once indistinguishable from other Aikir. All of them served the old gods, created only to be thrown into the endless wars of the Black Empire. But there were differences among them. Small swarm-like beetles, larger, spider-bodied warriors with 6 legs, towering Aegir lords, 3 times the size of their kin. These were the infantry and flyers. But something else was needed. The old gods required intelligence. So they shaped a new caste, the sages. For legs, for arms, upright stance, magical aptitude, plus a strategic mind. But even among them, there were those who rejected their fate, and one rose above them all. A female Aegir, forged with the strength of a lord and the mind of a sage. Her name was Azj-Kahet. She gathered like-minded followers in secret, and during the chaos of war, they vanished. They dug deeper and deeper until they found a vast cavern beneath the surface. There, they founded a new kingdom. Among the Nerubians were sages who turned their intellect to alchemy. Some Nerubians were reshaped, given new forms, and their memories and knowledge were woven into silk threads. These alchemic manipulators became known as splicers, masters of biological reinvention. I believe the Nerubians chose to change themselves after the Exodus, to adapt to the darkness and escape their former identity, inspired by native spiders and their mighty webs. Their transformation brought not just new bodies, but a new form of architecture, a kingdom woven with silk, unique across all Azeroth. The splicers created many new forms for their kingdom. The lords, elite warriors who control insect swarms in battle. We know them as scarab lords or spider lords. The sages, highly intelligent scholars, priests, magi, keepers of history, memory, and culture. The skitterlings, 2-legged, socially gifted craftsmen. Once rejected, then respected, and now absolutely essential. But they didn't stop with themselves. The Nerubians domesticated creatures too. Worms to tunnel through the earth. Scarab beetles for transport and truffle hunting. Flying beetles for airborne cargo and deadly aerial assaults. And spiders, massive, silk-weaving, and terrifying. So terrifying, Blizzard gave us a crab mode. Now that we've covered forms and fauna, let's talk about pheromones. In Nerubian society, pheromones define social rank, ownership, and memory. They write with them, pass down knowledge through scent. Their history is smelled, not read. We don't know much about the dynasties of the kingdom, but 3 queens stand out in Nerubian lore. Queen Azj-Kahet, as the founder of the first Nerubian kingdom. Queen Azj-Kahet, who turned a worm-born plague into radiant light via glowing larvae. She and her grand splicer brought a new light into the flourishing kingdom. And Queen Zaltra, who tried to conquer Khaz-Algar from the Titan Forged. But she failed in battle. The might of the Earthen was too strong. Her failure led to the First Civil War. The lords and sages rebelled and won. But they didn't kill her. They feared losing the knowledge woven into her silk. So they exiled her. But her dead husk was never found. Some say she still roams the ancient threads. In Azj-Kahet, we meet a mad Nerubian. One who says she was once queen, betrayed and cast out. I strongly believe that she is Zaltra, the banished queen of the Nerubians. I also have a cool idea about what Blizzard should do with her, but I'll tell you about that in another part of this little video series. Okay guys, before we dive deeper, here's a short pause for something personal. Making videos like this takes a lot of time and effort. I would like to thank everyone who has supported me so far. Likes, subscriptions, and sharing the video and discussions in the comments help the channel immensely. And if you haven't done so yet, then I have good news for you. For every like, subscription, and comment, I will sacrifice a little bunny. And if the video gets over 10,000 views and 1,000 likes, I will give away a special spa massage offer in the Undercity for 5 people. With a happy ending. To participate, all you need to do is to write, "I want my bunny," in the comments section. So good luck to all participants, and now back to the video. After the Civil War and the exile of Queen Zaltra, the Nerubians hoped for peace. A fragile order held the kingdom together, woven from silence, fear, and fading tradition. But the past doesn't die. Beneath the webs, something old began to stir. The Black Empire returned and demanded new fealty to their former subjects. And once again, a queen offered new tribute, hoping to protect her kingdom, or fearing what silence would bring to them. But one queen would put an end to this relationship. That queen was Queen Neferis. During the war against Ny'alotha, she broke the chains of the Black Empire again. Free, bound, free again, and now bound again. If that's not a hot-cold relationship, I don't know what that is. When the Scourge rose in Northrend, King Anu-Barak sent envoys to the south, pleading for help. Queen Neferis refused. Every time she received a new envoy from the north, she abandoned her sister kingdom in the north, leaving them to their fate, and ordered to collapse the tunnel that connected them. She believed that isolation would make them stronger. But that mentality was a fatal mistake. Her political decisions have ruined her kingdom. In the kingdom's weakest hour, Xalatatath came and whispered to Princess Ansurek. She showed her a vision, a kingdom of strength, pride, power. Ansurek believed her, and with the strike of a single dagger, her reign began. She ordered the black blood to be harvested from the depths. Neferis was the first to receive the gift of the Harbinger. Under unbearable pain, she transformed, not into something divine or elegant, but into a Hulk. Her mind was shattered after this treatment, but not fully gone yet. She managed to keep fragments of her former self, while her new body became her prison. Even after the experiment on Queen Neferis, the transformation of the Nerubians continued. Many of them died, but those whom were strong enough to survive became the Ascended. 2 legs, 4 arms, a near-human face if you ignore the 8 eyes. Stronger, faster, and deadlier than anything seen before in the Nerubian kingdom. Some were created as infantries, others, hulks like Zekvar and Ulgrax, living tanks built to dominate the battlefield. And some of them became the Skyrazers. The deadliest of them, Roshanan, appears in both the Dawnbreaker dungeon and the Nerubar Palace raid. 1 Skyrazer is enough to terrorize an army. 10 of them could tear through an Arathi fleet. But there's smaller ones too, like Xalatatath, the Queen's sweetie, a rare elite in Azj-Kahet. Kill him, and you might receive a quest item, and maybe, after grinding more Nerubians than you ever wanted, you're in your own Skyrazer mount. With her new troops and the will to bring glory to her kingdom, Ansurek placed herself in Xalatatath's service. Her first mission, a surprise attack on the flying city of Dalaran. The Nerubians managed to drag many inhabitants into the depths of Azj-Kahet. Well, before Xalatath reduced the city to rubble and ashes. But that wasn't the end. The Nerubians ambushed the survivors on the beach, and a fierce battle ensued. It lasted a long time, and only ended when the Storm Riders from Dornogal intervened in the fight on behalf of the survivors. Meanwhile, another force of the Nerubians used the distraction to destroy the Coreway in Dornogal. Next came the siege of Hallowfall, and eventually, the full-scale assault on the Priory of the Sacred Flame. But the defenders held. We also were able to find out about the fate of the former queen, and spared her life when she attacked us in the Priory. In those battles, Ansurek still ruled her kingdom. But not all Nerubians were loyal to the new queen. Rebel Nerubians rose against their queen, powerful allies that helped us in the attack of the Nerubar Palace. We fought our way through her strongest forces. Then, in the deepest chamber of the palace, Ansurek was defeated by us and the rebel forces. And Xalatath let her die, mockingly, cold, and indifferent. For a brief moment, the web stilled. But after the events in Undermine, the Suraki rose again. They attacked Hallowfall once more, this time as vengeance. But who commands them now, since Ansurek is dead and gone? The Southern Kingdom stands on the brink. Ansurek is gone. Xalatath's whispers linger, and the Suraki strike again. But this is only one half of the web. Far to the north lies another kingdom, a once proud empire, now shattered beneath ice and bone. In Part 2, we travel to Azjol-Nerub, the rise of its ancient halls, the fall to the Scourge, and the legacy of a new Barak. We'll uncover secrets buried in the frost, and explore how this fallen kingdom still shapes the history of Azeroth. So don't miss out. Subscribe, share the video with your guild, and stay tuned as we continue to explore the Nerubian legacy. I'm out. Peace.